Hello everybody, I hope you're having a blessed day. The name's Londinius, and I welcome you to the Homesite Spotlight. This is a series that I plan on seeing through that I go over the many home bases in State of Decay 2. For the first episode, we will be talking about the one, the only, Wally's Bar and Grill. A bit centered but leaning towards the right side, which definitely favors the base over anything else. It's on top of a sort of plateau surrounded by the region of Santa Maria with many lootable locations nearby. The restaurant itself is questionably fortified by a line of walls that are mostly to be climbed over, but there are some barbed wire segments that are blocked. More often than not though, the walls serve as a minor hindrance for anything trying to get in. Also on parts of the outside of the building are ladders that can get you up on the roof of this establishment. There isn't a lot going on up here, but you're also able to climb behind the Wally's Bar and Grill sign for the safest spot on the base. Spoiler alert, nothing's going to be able to be built up here, but you are rewarded with solid sight lines into the open areas surrounding the base, allowing for clear shots on any zombie or freak that poses a threat. While going inside, you'll find that the restaurant is actually looking pretty fair for a zombie apocalypse, with cushioned booths and a table with rather neatly stacked chairs on top. Do mind the rubbish on the floor though, and you'll find a couple of rather unfairly furnished restrooms, posted up near some employee lockers. Across from the restrooms, you'll find the kitchen area, and towards the back of the kitchen area, you'll find your future command center. When we try to move in, we're greeted with the requirement of at least 4 community members along with 500 influence. We advertise 10 total facility slots with a signature bar and grill and a couple of sitting areas that are supposedly clearable. With that in mind, let's move in and see what we have to work with. Upon opening the base menu, we're presented with 10 total facility slots. 5 are built-in and permanent, 3 are free outdoor slots, and if you look down here on the inside of the building, we'll see a couple of the built-in seating areas mentioned before. They give us a trade impromptu beds, which end up giving us 2 beds each. They can't be cleared for 5 materials, however, and that's what we'll do here, to make space for our fully customizable base. While waiting for the seats to clear, I found one of my members chilling on the roof. Ours appear to count as armed guards at the watchtower though. Besides that, here we are at the base as open as it can be, with 4 small slots and a singular large slot outside. Here, we're given a basic command center, along with a basic storage. Nothing too crazy. What is crazy though, is the bar and grill, boasting a whole 3 morale to the community along with 2 beds built in that you can see right here. The bar and grill functions as a level 2 kitchen without the upgrade cost, but also able to stop the taps, which gives the community 15 morale for half an hour. I did end up filling the base with facilities as you fit, so you have the command center and storage, along with the newly built infirmary to keep the community healthy, and of course a workshop to be able to craft anything I need to. I also have a watchtower to give my base a stronger defense with 2 armed guards, and a garden slot to meet my community's food needs. For the large slot, I added a lounge as morale is very important in speeding up production in the community. And the lounge is the best way to do so, along with the bonus of having 2 beds, which can be very convenient. But let's try defending the base against the zombies.
Yo, we got a horde here.
Big one.
You see that one?
As you can see, very few zombies came from the sides, and most came straight through the front gate. The questionable perimeter is looking so questionable now. I sort of mentioned the location towards the start, but around the town we see some welcome signs, dubbing Santa Maria as the city above, which is true because while the map looks like this, the city is surrounded by mountains like this. I'm driving around it now, and we'll see on the left hand side that the mountains are no joke. It would be quite difficult to simply go straight back home after a scavenger run, potentially even impossible from certain angles. This could lead to situations where we might run out of gas a bit quicker due to the time gap of leaving the base compared to getting back to the base. Around the mountain can also be quite a couple trees that the car may run into, causing you to lose all momentum which can make some cars literally incapable of scaling the plateau. Despite this, there are numerous roads in Santa Maria that can alleviate the problem of driving up, but not the gas cost. Here's some freak routes I took to get back home. I most frequented getting back to the base from this north side of the hiking trail, which ended up giving a clear shot to the parking lot. If I ever caught myself down south for whatever reason it may be, and I ended up driving straight to the hills here to see some of the few bits of mountainous terrain around Drucker County, you can actually just drive straight through. Sure, the main road isn't next to us, but it's also the angle we can drive wherever we want now at absolutely no cost. It is a zombie apocalypse after all, bringing experience absolute motor vehicle freedom from the laws of physics, and if we're good at driving. Over on the east side, from myself to that bottom infestation are rather drivable hills without much issue. Finishing off is the west side of the plateau, where the 6-man base Mike's Concrete is, which we may talk about in a future video. Instead of taking the main road, I found myself to be able to save a lot of gas by driving up this little hill here. Most cars should be able to make it up with momentum, of course. Do better than me by not hitting the rock, and you'll find that this is the fastest way up the plateau. Obviously, only take the route if you have to be leaning towards the western side of Santa Maya and just lose out on gas trying to force this little route. But as you can see here, just follow down the road and you end up back at the grill. Oh, the crazy loot run. Let's go. Just gonna, party will be all neat and stuff. Slowly but surely. Alright, yeah, for sure. Let's give one last tour of the upgraded joint and slow down a bit here. What do I personally think of Wally's place? I honestly find it to be a really cozy option early on in the run set in Drucker County, the obviously superior location of being on top of the plateau. Any mission is easily fielded with the elevated base of operations. I also just find it to be rather warm, possibly due to the yellow and red color scheming, along with a ton of room to walk around in on the inside. Missions are intended to have a welcoming atmosphere within them. While the setting of the game isn't welcoming, it always helps to live in a place that feels rather normal, in my opinion. Although I still find it funny how generational the bathroom furnishing is. There's unironically a couch and a little stand here in the women's room, which is crazy. I really didn't expect the rumors to be true, I'm not gonna lie. That is going to be the end of this home site spotlight. I do appreciate you for taking the time to watch the whole thing. Or if you skip to the end, I still appreciate you too. For the next episode of this series, I plan on moving to the Cabin Park Motel down south to start reviewing the 5-man bases. Before I get to the 6-man bases, I ask you, dear viewer, what 6-man base would you like to see first? Besides the previously mentioned Mike's Concrete or the Knight's Family Drive-In. The choice is yours. Besides that, thank you for watching and have a blessed day. Goodbye.